Here's a quick video with a few updates I've done to the back of my van. What's going on, guys? Ben here with Robinson Reconnaissance. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm up here at the off-grid property and thought it'd be a good time to go over a few quick updates I've done to the back of the Sprinter van here. There's 3 updates primarily. 1 being the mini monster box from VANS. 2 being the 1UP bike rack, which is a 1UP tire carrier from 1UP. And then number 3, the B2 carrier from VANS, which is the platform for this whole thing.
This is the mini monster box from VANS. And this is the 1UP bike tray. Carries 1 bike, locks in. And this part here is the B2 carrier from VANS. It attaches there and here to the hinges. And then it does require drilling, so you have to drill 1 hole into the back of the vehicle door right here. So those are the only 3 touch points. 1 there and both hinges. Your bike tire fits in here really nicely, and then these 2 devices latch on top of the wheels, and I'll show you that here in a second, how that loads, how easy it is to load a bike. But on this B2 bike carrier, you've got these really robust posts. 1 here, 1 here. Sorry, my dog in the background got a new puppy, Rufus. Water bowl froze. Can play all day with that. Rufus, what are you doing? No, you just spilled it all. Dude. All right, I'll show you how to load a bike into the 1UP bike carrier. It's pretty easy. You just pull this red tab. That opens that side up. You want that fairly open like that. And then you do the same with this red tab here. Just pull that up. You gotta kind of hold it 90 degrees and it'll just slide. Once you got that, you've got to grab the bike. So let me grab my bike. Now I usually grab the bike by here on the bottom of it and the fork. So I usually load the rear tire first. We'll just push that up there like that. That goes into the tire. And that goes like so. And then you just push. And it kind of just holds the tire. Same with this side. Give it a good and that's pretty much it. It locks in, so this isn't going to move on you on either side. You can also get this 1UP bike lock. So this just goes through the rim of the tire and locks. I'll show you how that goes. So there's a hole on one end for a key, and that's the other end with the 1UP on it. You get the keys. One. There we go. So that just slides right off, and then I'll show you how it goes on. There's a bunch of holes here, and it just goes right through that and locks on this side. So that's the 1UP side. It goes right through the rim there. And that's the side that comes off with the keyhole. This one-up bike rack is really pro style, really rigid. To release those, you just pull this up 90 degrees and that moves down. And then same with this one, you just push that 90 degrees and that will move down as well. Those attach with some really strong lug nuts and bolts right there underneath. But yeah, overall, really happy with it. The bike doesn't really move around a whole ton. And then someone could try and steal your bike, I guess, but they could take the wheel off. Usually what I do is I have a really hard cable, cut-proof cable that I'll run through the body, through the wheel, and into the B2 bike carrier here, just for an extra layer of security. I'll kind of step back and show you. On this side, doesn't stick out at all, comes flush. Oh, don't mind the hockey net, oh yay. So that does not stick out at all. But on this side, it does stick out, which they say that it's not an issue. I would prefer if it was flush with the vehicle, but kind of hard to do, especially when you have a bigger frame bike. But I'll show you kind of how it sticks out. Here's the view from the side. So it does stick out about 2 or 3 inches. Kind of even with this. They say it's completely even with the rearview mirror. Or the right passenger side mirror, I should say. So I guess, yeah, you can't really see it when it's, because it's about the same distance out as the mirror here. That's how much it sticks out. What are you doing? Huh? We just had our first snow last week and it's pretty deep. Kind of had to dig out the container that tarp was up. Had a good fire the other night. Kind of had to make a couple paths just to get down here. Dig out quite a bit to be able to get down the driveway here. Beautiful day now in November. Approaching Thanksgiving. So yeah, not too bad. I had to dig out each of those tire tracks there in order to be able to get down here. This is a 4-wheel drive, of course, but beauty day. Got the Starlink hooked up here. Now I'll show you a little bit about the mini monster box here. So this attaches to right there on the top hinge and the lower hinge. That's the B2 carrier. So then this mini monster box attaches to that and it has all these holes in it. So you can either line it up vertically, you can move these bars up or down for the bike itself to raise or lower the bike. Right now, it's pretty much flush with the roof. Barely just pokes out the top of the roof, just a smidgen. But I have it kind of located so it doesn't mess with these sensors, these backup sensors. Because if you have it any lower, if you move it down a little bit, it starts to interfere with your backup sensors, which don't work. Now, with the mini monster box here, I'll show you here, it connects there as well. You can raise or lower it with those pins. And it has 2 locks on it, so one here, You just hit those, they open, they're unlocked right now. If there was one change I could do, I'd probably update these locks or change them. These keys, for some reason, don't go in super smooth. You got to kind of like jiggle it in order to get it to lock. But there, once it's locked, you push on it, it doesn't open. And they do snap shut, which I like. And then that opens up just like that. And then there's a little pin right here where you just pull up and it opens down. So what you get there is kind of a table if you wanted to cook or get your jet boil or make some breakfast or put a little mini grill or something on, or even just if you wanted to put a couple chairs right here and sit and hang out, put your beers on there. And right now I just have stuff that I don't really need in the van itself, which takes up room. So have this DeWalt vacuum, which takes up quite a bit of room. I just put that there. And then usually I'll put my trash on this level. So anything that I don't want smelling in the van, I'll put out here. So that kind of takes care of that. I think it's a good size without being ridiculous, without covering like the full length of your van and just looking obscene. And then this shelf here, you can move up and down. I'll show you that here. So you have these little pins as well. A couple screws there, a couple screws there on this little rail system. You can take that shelf completely out, or you can raise it or lower it as well. You can even lower it to down here if you wanted to have more room up above. And those rails go all the way down right there, right there. It has these two metal kind of rope wires on it which hold it together. So this thing's pretty strong. It's not gonna break. Those just fold right up. And you gotta pull the pin and that clicks into place. And then it's got a really nice kind of a rubber strong gasket on it. So that keeps the water out. And then same when you close this one, that rubber lip just kind of seals. So you're not getting any water in there. I've washed this multiple times. Haven't had any issues with water intrusion or anything like that. And it's powder coated black, which is nice, so it does not rust. And then the nice thing about Owl is they give you this MOLLE kind of rack system, so you can mount stuff to all this MOLLE on the exterior of the vehicle. Whether you wanted to do an axe or some jerry cans, some roto packs, gas cans, diesel cans. You can put all sorts of stuff to customize it. So it's pretty modular. I really like to use this top compartment just to hold trash or anything else smelly that you don't want in the cab. Now I'll show you how it opens. So you kind of watch your head. You pull it. Now that whole side moves. Does not interfere at all with anything on this side. The tire rack is separate. It does not impact anything that you do kind of on a day-to-day basis. Show you that. So when you look at it when the doors open, it's just kind of like that. There's the box. That's where they drill the hole right there. So when they drill the hole, they may have to do some gluing. So what they do is they take this panel partially off, just snap it off through here. And then depending on your Sprinter, they may or may not have to drill or glue the actual inside panel where the metal is. They may or may not have to glue that in order to make sure that it's securely attached. They say most of the newer ones now come fully glued, so it's not an issue. But some of the older vans, I think they have issues with them not being glued correctly or properly to quite make it strong enough to drill in. But on this one, they did not have to do any more glue, so that was an extra expense if they would have had to glue. So that was nice they did not. And then the plastic just snaps back into place. Her water bowl froze, so she's chewing on some ice. And I'll get the dimensions of this for you, so it really doesn't stick out that much, you know, as a whole, the box. And then the bike, you can obviously move that this way to have it a little closer to the vehicle. Right now, I have it fairly close. Maybe could move it just a couple inches that way, so it would be closer to the door. But I like it this far out. But then also you can move this farther out, so it's like there, and then you could add another one-up bike rack there, so you could have two bikes. And I like how these move up and down again, so you can adjust that. But that's how it looks kind of like when the door is wide open. That door right now is at a 90-degree angle to the van. And then I'll show you how you close it. Just gotta watch your head here. And they say you are just supposed to just close it like that, no slamming needed. They do say that you kind of keep an eye on these bolts and screws right there, just to make sure they're not coming loose. That one set there, and the one set there. But this black powder coating, super nice, super clean looking, and kind of blends into the aesthetic of the van, you know, in terms of the black and tan. One last update, I got this little Skull Trailer Hitch cover from Triple Aught Designs. I'll link it down below. This is the black or / gray trim one. They also have a white and an olive green. I figured the black aesthetic would look better with all the black on the van. It's just locked here with a little lockable trailer tie. So I think it adds a little something kind of cool to it. A little Mad Max vibes. Well, there you have it, guys. A couple of updates to the back of my Sprinter van. Until next time, I'll continue broadcasting from way out here at the off-grid property. Peace out.